Thanks very much, Brandon James Cook, for giving me the idea to cover The Real Australians view on ISIS. Great idea, and if I ever met you in real life, I'd give you an affectionate noogie to kiss like an old Italian man.
This guy,
First off, let me begin by saying I get it. I get why Tony Abbott's approval rating went up by 6 points purely because he decided,
yeah, time to send as many troops over to a war-torn country as there is kids in Tuncurry Primary School. Peacekeeper, yeah.
Because let's admit it, when you see in the papers Mr. Tumnus turned holy warrior, who if he was born here would be lamenting.
Can't get laid? Stuff it. I'm just gonna listen to death metal and live off instant cups of soup and wonder why chicks find that unappealing.
It's either the band Slayer or slaying infidels, man. I can't get to the babes.
When I hear him say,
Kill the disbeliever, whether he's civilian or military, both of them are disbeliever.
I love thinking about some laid-back Aussie piecing together a makeshift grenade out of a VB can and throwing it at him, yelling,
You can get it being an ugly beta male. Ugh.
This is a form of suicide, the burning as a burden on my soul.
But after that fantasy subsides, I come to my senses and I realise that this is the Iraqi hillbilly version of some goth that sits around on 4chan all day writing mean comments about celebrities. He is actually an internet troll, and we're going to war for that. Are we that pussy? Because somebody hurt our feelings online. The Middle Eastern equivalent of people who write on Hillary Duff's Vivo account. This is the worst election campaign video I've ever seen in my life. Fuck Hillary Duff. I hope she loses in 2016. Australia has become those 100 idiots that respond to that comment seriously afterwards with Hillary Duff and Hillary Clinton are two different people. Go fucking kill yourself, you pedo. The biggest troll victim of all who got triple-digit likes on her comments is, of course, Jacqui.
If I ever get a husband, he better have a big package.
Lambie, who can never again complain about wasted government spending, as her being allowed to express her opinion in Parliament is the definition of wasted government spending.
These thugs and extremists will not stop their acts of terrorism and depravity until their way of life, their culture and their law is imposed on Australia, indeed the whole world.
That's her concept of reality. It's like her entire international politics understanding is based off the movie G.I. Joe.
Cobra Command is the biggest threat to Australian lives.
You mean ISIS, surely?
Oh yeah, maybe, I don't know, I only watched it on the plane.
This is why someone who sounds like they have two flapping ashtrays for a mouth shouldn't be allowed to lecture people on geopolitics, because if your train of thought is,
oh yeah, you just use the same tactics we used on the Sharks in WA, you know, they killed two people we like, so did ISIS, no difference, you just get in there, cull a few thousand of them, that'll teach them a lesson, just like we taught the Sharks, and the Sharks ate another person! It's as if they hate us!
Then your qualification of voting for Kevin Rudd because you saw him on Sunrise and thought,
well, it says I'm waking up with friends, so he must be a friend,
isn't good enough for you to call for war to a national audience. I know from observing that dead fish facial expression you have when you're speaking on a subject you clearly know nothing about, that you're nowhere near complicated enough to feel the emotion embarrassment. But believe me when I say, you are an embarrassment on humanity. Why are you still pretending to be intelligent? It's so obvious to everyone but you that you have the same mental flexibility as a crocodile. Every time it gets kicked in the side, no matter how many times it happens, it's gonna have that same snapback response of, need proof that she's actually that reactionary? Remember a comment,
anyone who supports Sharia law should pack their bags and get out of the country.
They would actually ask if she knows what Sharia law is. Her response was,
well, I think, when it comes to, Sharia law,
she ums and ahs 7 times in the space of 18 seconds.
My voice needs to be heard. It involves a power that is not a healthy power.
What does not a healthy power even mean? Have you noticed that in almost every single sentence she's ever clumsily blurted out, there's always 2 or 3 words that don't make sense of the context, and you're forced to compensate in your mind out of pity with, no, it's fine, I know what she meant. However, again, I do understand why Australia's Brandine from The Simpsons would feel so strongly about something she barely knows exists. Because what gets stupid people more riled up than nationalism? But why are we letting people like Tony Abbott and the human cigarette butt determine what's patriotic? It's time us lefties took back nationalism, because in this country that is rightfully ours. If there's one thing more Aussie than letting British people goad you into fighting a war that's not at all in your strategic interest to fight, it's doing nothing. What is more Aussie than being lazy?
Can't be bothered thinking of anything else, so I'll just agree with that.
Us Melissa Park supporters should be waving the flag at you, Lambie. You're the one that should be packing your bags and leaving, because you're trying to get us to do something.
I call treason on that.
Don't tell us we're un-Australian for wanting to send over aid. That is the bare minimum.
You mean I represent this parcel today? That's my only job? Wow. Looks like giving is its own reward.
Wanting to do any more than that is not only dangerous, less effective, costly and stupid, it's also downright un-Australian, and I won't stand for the hillbillies taking the nationalist high ground on this. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be fooled. The biggest threat to the Australian way of life isn't ISIS, it's Jacqui Lambie.
Oh my god, does that mean I'm a Muslim? Am I following Sharia law?
Please press the subscribe button now. Come on.